wait is over, the summer is gone, the best leagues in the land are back.
It's time to raise the game.
Hello and welcome back to Netball TV. I'm Maisy Davis and today I'm joined with Alex Hyman. Alex, how are we?
Very good, thank you, Maisy. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. So not only are you co-presenting with me today, but you're also up in commentary. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. I think we've got a really exciting programme coming up for you. It's obviously International Women's Day coming up in a few days, so that's a really exciting thing we've got to look forward to, and we're going to be highlighting some really important people on the show, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. Tonight is a celebration of all women in sport, from athletes to physios to people behind the lens, but we'll get into that a bit later. But before that, you were on comms, you've been doing your research. What can we expect from today's match, Al? Obviously Cardiff Met men's v Exeter.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really exciting matchup. Obviously, it's an absolutely wonderful day here on Rugby 1. Cardiff Met sitting in 6th, Exeter just above in 5th. We know that both teams have ruled out their title chances. That's fine. Both teams have accepted that. But now, getting towards the end of the regular season, it's now nearly playoff time, and we know what that means. It means form becomes, a really, really important thing. So both teams are going to want to come here and play some really good style of rugby. And Cardiff Met, both teams are actually coming off a loss last week, so they're going to want to put things right tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one tonight. But funny you mentioned last week's match. It was the women's match against Hartpury, and unfortunately they lost. It was actually a really tough match to watch. Met were ahead, doing very well, but then actually Hartpury came and they managed to lift a cup, Al.
I mean, it was an incredible match. It was actually Cardiff Met who took the lead. Of course, Hartpury knew that they were coming here to win the title. If they got that win, they've clinched it, on this very pitch. And Cardiff Met held them at bay for a good part of that first half. Yeah. But then, Hartpury showed their true colours and came back, and then they clinched the very title, the first women's BUCS Super Rugby title, so congratulations to them.
Yeah, like you said, first BUCS Super Rugby women's title, won by Hartpury, and let's see how they did it.
Noswaith a croeso to the final round of the women's BUCS Super Rugby season, as Hartpury aim to claim the league title away to Cardiff Met.
Harvey Purnell blows his whistle and gets the final round of this year's Women's BUCS Super Rugby underway. Met backing their power, backing their forwards, getting across the line and wrestling the ball across the paint. Oh my goodness, WWE style. Lockwood looks right, looks left, gives it to Whitley, who's across, but has she grounded it? Yes, she has. It's Caitlin Hubert. Caitlin Hubert looking for the offload, finding Marlowe. Marlowe with one more to Gabby Heelan. And that has to be up there as one of the tries of the season. Hartpury chasing a championship. Met looking ragged defensively. McQueen looking full of running, full of gusto. Off goes Aspinall. She'll do it all alone. Aspinall to seal the three-peats.
Yeah, huge congratulations to Hartpury for clinching the title last week. They're the first ever women's BUCS Super Rugby champion, so an incredible achievement. But now, delighted to be joined by Maisy Davis, a Gwalior Lightning player, Cardiff Met player and a Welsh international. Yeah. Maisy, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. You've been away recently with the Celtic Challenge. Tell us a little bit about how that's been going.
Yeah, it's been going really good. I'm playing for the Gwalior Lightning. We've been really good. Like, we went away, we beat beat the Scottish teams, narrow loss to the Irish teams, but we are hoping to end this campaign on a win this weekend.
Yeah, and is that realistic? Is that your expectation for the rest of the season to go for the win, top of the league?
Well, we lost last week, so we can't go top of the league, but hoping now to end this weekend with a big win and an upset against an Irish team.
What's it been like being away from this team and playing for Gwale? Have you missed it at all, or are you fine with it?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I love playing with my friends from Met, but also I like that competition at a higher level of rugby. But yeah, I just love playing rugby, so playing for anyone, I love it.
Speaking of a higher level of rugby, you were MVP, most valued player. Last year is summer women's under-20s Wales. Tell us about that. How did you get into that, and how was that for you?
Yeah, so it was actually quite fresh. I transitioned to front row, so I was going out there not with many expectations of how it goes. So I love playing front row now. I think it really suits my game, so coming back with that was pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, you're familiar with some of the players that play for Gwale. Obviously, how does the team connect compared to BUCS? Is there a similarity? Is there differences?
Yeah, I think you have to build that connection and friendships, and I feel like that really shows when we play on the field on the weekend. You can see how much we want to play for each other and how much we want to win. So definitely that helps.
Also, Met player. Well, how do you think the boys are gonna go tonight? What do you think the score is gonna be?
Yeah, well, I think Met will win 34-28. It'll be quite a close game, but definitely Met win.
And I just want to ask you, obviously Women's Six Nations coming up, it's a big time of the year for you. What are your thoughts as a team collective heading into that tournament?
I'm really excited. I think obviously we've got a new head coach now. I think it's an exciting opportunity for us Welsh girls, and especially us younger Welsh girls going into that campaign. And I've got a lot more experience now, so I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully I'll be involved in it.
Sean Lynn, mastermind behind Hartbury Rugby. Did he have anything to do with the win last week, do you reckon?
Oh, most definitely, probably, yeah. But again, it's exciting.
Yeah, tough loss for the girls, definitely, last week. But obviously we're celebrating all women around campus today. How do you feel yourself being a woman in sport?
I feel like we're in a really good time in the women's game, especially in rugby. I feel like it's developing every time I step onto the pitch. I feel like it's developed. But Hartbury winning last week, obviously we want a Met win, but it shows how far the women's game's come and how BUCS rugby is competitive every week. And a lot of my friends played at Hartbury, so it was gutting for Met, but also happy for them to be winning that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck for the rest of your Gwalior season. We look forward to seeing and keeping up with all that's going on.
Yeah, good luck, Maisy.
Yeah, so Maisy just said there's so much to showcase at Cardiff Met, but you tend to see the athletes on the pitch. But what about those who are behind the scenes and more specifically behind the lens? Let's take a look.
My name is Ellie Place. I am originally from Mansfield in Nottinghamshire, and I'm a 21-year undergrad student at Cardiff Met on the sports media course. I always loved writing stories as a kid. I didn't really want to do, when I associated sports media, I just thought of journalism, so a sit-down job behind a desk, and that was never something that interested me. So it wasn't until I got here, so I did a different course for my first year, and one of my flatmates, she was doing the sports media course, and after her just telling me what she was doing on a daily basis, what it involved, that really interested me. So I obviously swapped courses and yeah, stuck it out to the third year, so I must be enjoying it. I love the whole being able to capture a moment, obviously being interested in sport and being a sporting person myself, being able to capture those tight moments and feeling part of the moment that they have created, whether that be in winning the league, winning a game that they haven't won in a while, bringing people together, just any of those feelings, like tight moments that you thought, were they going to do it, maybe not, like capturing that in a still photo is just, it's great. It tells such stories, and obviously because I can't physically take part, it makes me still feel like part of the environment and able to just feel like I was part of that experience. Photography is such a massive part of storytelling. Those moments that it captures, you would never be able to get without it. People are able to relive events, both happy and sad ones. It allows you to be creative and push so many different moments and relive so many different moments. It is both audio and visual storytelling is such a major thing within sports and outside of it. Moments, people forget them, like being part of it. You can talk slightly about it, but with age and years and memory, like they sort of go, like you can't remember it specifically. Photos keep that forever, like being able to capture that. It just it allows you to just remember that moment forever. Like, for example, I don't know, the Lionesses winning the Euros, like that was such a big part of sporting history, and being able to see those photos today and keep reliving that moment, it's something special you can't really get in anything else.
Yeah, great to hear and learn a little bit more about Ellie there, but now delighted to be joined by Rhiannon Hawker, Head of Cardiff Met Athletics, and Ellie Place, staff student and staff photographer around here on campus. Ellie, what was it like being in front of camera this time around?
It was definitely a lot more nerve-wracking than being behind. I feel like you've got the sort of spotlight all on you, everything's sort of looking at you, but no, it was good. It was really good. It was nice to be able to sort of give my view, sort of be able to say how much I appreciate being in this environment.
Yeah, definitely. And someone who also works behind the scenes as well, Rhiannon, for those who don't know, tell us a bit about your role and what you actually do in the SU.
So I work with Cardiff Met Sport, head of athletics there, so essentially I cover everything from the student side of athletics. I run our performance programme, but I also run the recreational and social side of stuff as well. And then the integration of the community with our facility, because it's a massive community training base because it's got a roof.
Yeah, definitely. But today we're talking and showcasing all women in sport, and we know that Cardiff Met and the SU run so many amazing events. There was an archer event that both of you attended a couple of weeks back. Tell us what events like that mean to women in sport, especially in Cardiff.
It's so important because for so long there has been a massive disparity. We really want to make Cardiff Met a centre for women's sport, not just in Wales but throughout the UK, I think, and we're trying to do that through obviously all the sporting participation, both at a performance but at a recreational level as well, and then with awareness events like Arch Her, kind of bringing awareness to the female body within sport, how females can manage themselves in sport, and then the event that we are launching tomorrow, the Lead Hership programme, which is an event run in conjunction with our partners Team Wales to upskill young female leaders in what has traditionally been quite a male-dominated environment.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like campuses like this are male dominated, but for those who don't know, it's all, yeah, Exhibit A behind me there. But for those who don't know, the event is on Cyncoed Campus. Do you know the details? No worries. Anyway, Cyncoed Campus, you could Google it. I'm sure it's on Met socials. But what about for you, Ali? You were also there taking pictures of the event. How do you find events like that?
It's so needed just to be able to show be able to see all the women coming together, be able to show how well we work together, obviously being able to get that message out there that we are as big as the men are. We might not get shown as much. Obviously it's a lot more now, with the women's rugby, with the women's, obviously the Wales football team as well. It's becoming so much more out there now that it's just these sort of events and things like that, just they sort of reiterate that we are here, we are coming, we will be, we need to be more the face.
Yeah,
Rhiannon,
definitely.
one for you, because this is the first women's BUCS Super Rugby, season that we had. Obviously last week Hartbury were crowned champions. You're obviously involved with athletics. I know you're involved with hockey too. Do you think there's that widespread sort of improvements across the board in all sports?
I do. I think there is definitely still a long way to go, but it's been really noticeable. Again, tennis is a great example where there's started to be parity in the kind of the pay. People are starting to take notice, and there's some real role models in female sport at a performance level that young girls can start to look up to now and think, yeah, like I can be that. You've got, if you can't see it, you can't be it. So that's really starting to change.
Yeah, I mean, just on that tennis front, I know the WTA have done a massive rebranding and sort of, just showcasing that there's so much narrative around these players that are involved. So yeah, that was really impressive to see.
Yeah, definitely. Now, there is so much that actually goes on around campus, and you take pictures for a lot of the events. Have you noticed a change in like recent years with upping of the women's game? Like, are there more spectators, more girls getting involved? What have you noticed?
I think there's a big environment both in the men's and the women's teams, like in their sports. I've seen a lot around the rugby, a lot around the football, also the hockey as well. I feel like this campus is very much a women-dominated area, especially with the hockey and things like that. I mean, water polo, they've been doing great as well. Like some of the sports, I had no idea, like lacrosse. Couldn't tell you what it happens, but it's such a great sport to watch. And obviously the women, not long ago there wasn't a team, and it was student ran last year, and they've just sort of took it from there. But it's great to see both atmospheres. They're all so loving, they're so it's such a tight-knit community that you would only really get here on this campus.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you ever so much, girls, for joining us. Alex, you better get yourself up to comms, because as kick-off nears, it's time to hear a bit about today's match. So we spoke to team manager Amber to get a bit of insight on what's going to kick off later.
Your reflections on that match?
Oh no, thank you very much for having me. Yeah, of course, Loughborough last week was a tough game. We went up there with an opportunity to give some boys a run out and an opportunity to get some minutes and exposure in BSR, and also allowed us then to prioritise some of our fixtures in the Prem side. But Loughborough, a tough side to beat, so obviously all credit to them, but we'll see what happens in the future.
How are you approaching this game against Exeter?
Obviously, Exeter's history, they're a really good side. Probably not as strong as they have been in the past, currently in the moment, but that doesn't mean you should ever underestimate them or give them anything. It's also Lucas Durrell's 50th cap tonight, so he's going to be going after it. So it's going to be tough, but it's a great opportunity for the boys to have another go and build some momentum into the quarterfinal.
And I was speaking to Tom Cole earlier. He mentioned, of course, the weekend big match there. That's impacted the selections that have been made today, I understand.
So I think at the moment for us, obviously the start of the year, building into the start of the season, and we're competing on two fronts. So obviously getting promoted into the Premiership last year was really important for us. It's something where we want to stay and where we want to challenge and play some good rugby. So we have to make sure at times that we're prioritising that. Obviously aspirationally we want to be competing on both fronts, so that's where we're working towards, and to do so we have to stay in the Premiership. So some of the boys are putting on the jersey on a Saturday, and some of them are putting it on tonight, but hopefully we've got a strong squad and some boys coming through the ranks. It'll be a good test for all of them.
And the last one, we know Met are playoff bound, the only Welsh side to be playoff bound in BUCS. You look like you're going to be facing Bath away. Have you kind of got one eye on that fixture already, prepping the boys for the quarter-final?
I think you've always got to look towards what it is you're working for. I mean, quarter-final to us was a goal at the end of the year, at the start of the year, not the end. So that probably comes into the background, and I think that's why last week's fixtures, the boys playing on Saturday, they're really important. We want to build some momentum, get some good minutes in the boys, and see where we get to. And we might be planning for Bath, but we'll see what happens when we get there. So.
There you go, a lovely insight from Amber there. But someone else who's really good at giving insights is Met rugby expert Sam Jones. Sam, how are we?
Well, thanks for the great introduction. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
You deserve it, I'm good. Up on comms today, so I'm sure you've been doing a bit of research about today's match. What can we expect from the boys today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the sun's gone in now, but great Sun of Rugby 1 today.
Yeah.
Two exciting teams, and yeah, this is going to be a really interesting game.
No, definitely. So, defending champions Exeter, but actually Met drew their last match last week 31-all, but when Exeter played Leeds Beckett, they actually lost. So do you think Met are going to go in with a bit of confidence tonight?
Yeah, I definitely think there'll be some confidence with a draw, but I mean, you can't count out a team like Exeter. They're reigning champions for a reason, and that pedigree doesn't just disappear, so they will definitely still have that fight in them tonight.
Yeah, well, we haven't got long left. It's about to kick off, and can't wait to hear your commentary. I'll be listening out. But thanks for joining me, Sam.
No, thank you very much.
There you go, and look out because Sam's coming up. So I'm going to hand you over to Sam and Alex.
Yeah, thank you, Neve. Welcome to round 17 of the 2024-25 BUCS Super Rugby season. Over the last few days, it's just been wonderful weather out here in the Welsh capital, and that means that this pitch is in just fine condition for this match tonight, as Cardiff Met hosts Exeter in a battle between 5th and 6th place. The home team, Cardiff Met, are no longer in contention for a top 4 finish. However, they'll be eager to finish the regular season on a high to try and match or better last year's season 6th place finish. In regards to Exeter, they do still have a chance of that top 4 finish. So the Archers, here we go. They show 7 changes from last week's defeat away to Loughborough. Starting at hooker is Dom, now excuse me if I get this name wrong, but Manasateva. Sam will help me with that in a little bit. But yes, he is in the starting lineup, and at tight head is Tom Pritchard. Gethin Cannon moves to number 4 in the second row, whilst also picking up the captain's armband. Congratulations to him. In the backs, Harry Rice starts at scrum half, and a return to BSR Rugby for a certain Vikas Maya at number 10. Of course, he's been off on international duty. And finally, Jack Statton moves into 13. And Exeter then, the defending champions of BSR. They come to Cyncoed also with a few changes from their loss against Leeds Beckett. At tight head, Tupeni Ralagavau enters the starting 15 in replace of Jamie Miller. Tom Gully also starts in the front row alongside Rob Gaffin. And Joe Bailey and Charlie Bull are in the second row, supported by Captain Fantastic Lucas Dorrell, who earns his 50th cap. Huge congratulations to him for that feat. Jack Forsyth tying up the forwards is Seb Driscoll at number 8. And in the backs, Freddie Skinner and Benji Mills remain in the starting lineup. Woody Pugh and Zach Wimbush link up in the centres. And Noah Fenton and Ollie Meyer, who makes his first team debut, start out wide for the men in green. Right then, moments away for this huge matchup between Cardiff Met and Exeter. Sam Jones up in the commentary box. Thanks for joining us again tonight. A couple of weeks in a row, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, clearly I did well last time. You'd be welcome back onto the stage, but thank you for having me.
No, it's great to have you here once again to talk us through these teams. I mean, you're involved within the setup. You're the media man. You know, you're the go-to man for Cardiff Met. But first of all, I want to start Exeter. What can we expect from them tonight?
I mean, as I said earlier, like before coming up to comms, like they're a pure champion team, and although they've not been in great form recently, they've still got that inside of them. So it'll be definitely interesting to see how they use running ball today.
And seconds away now, but Cardiff Met, Sam, it's going to be a big one for them tonight, huh?
Oh, absolutely. I really want it to be an entertaining game, but I see how hard these boys work, and yeah, let's see what they've been made of.
Away we go on Rugby 1. Cardiff Met take the ball in, and this match is underway. The forwards taking in the first hit. Yeah, Cardiff Met just setting themselves, going up for the box kick, the first of the evening. I saw plenty of those in the past few matches.
Oh.
Sam, that's a huge hit, Sam.
Massive hit from Liam Jones. Hopefully there's more of them tonight. Oh, another big hit.
One after the other. I mean, what a start here on Rugby 1. First it was Liam Jones. But Hartbury now have secured the ball. And it's Exeter now. Slip of the tongue. Hartbury on my mind, given all that women's chat earlier on, but has it been stolen back now?
With the confusion of the names, it seems the ball's been changed over.
Confusion everywhere, but Cardiff Met. Oh, and it's back. Oh, cut chance for Exeter now. Both teams just trying to settle themselves early on, because this game so far has been very, very back and forth. Joe Bailey takes it in for Exeter, and out it goes into the backs for pretty much the first time.
Whoa, another big hit.
Woody Pugh taking one to the belly there. Yeah, and then Cardiff Met just pulled up for that one, Sam.
Yeah, it's probably a fair decision, to be fair, but this opening 3 minutes now is clearly showing this Met team route to play, because there's some big hits being thrown in there.
Do you think that's important starting out in a match like this, that you tell your opponents that you're here, you're here for the big hits, you're here for those fights early on?
Absolutely, and I'm sure Exeter will love having that kind of reception from Met on home turf, but yeah, absolutely, you've got to set the intentions well, because you can't go into a game working slowly, but as we see here, yeah, the big hits are definitely coming in early.
Wait, look at that first one. Goodness me. Incredible physicality from this Met team so far. And there's a decent kick by Exeter to kick to touch. Surprised that they've gone for the touch there, or do you think they would have liked to get early points?
As we've seen quite early doors, I think they're going to their forward pack, so yeah, it looks like they'll probably use a little set play there at the front. Clearly they've worked on it in their training ground, so we might see that more often in the game today.
Yeah. As you said, Sam, into the forwards they go for those last two phases, but now potentially they're spreading themselves a little bit further out wide on this near side. Lucas Dorrell, the captain, goes into contact. But again, the physicality from Cardiff Met. Charlie Bell out to Seb Driscoll now. Cardiff Met look a bit stretched on this near side. Exeter take it the other way, trying to catch them off guard a little bit. Yeah, again, penalty called up, Cardiff Met.
Yeah, Cardiff Met clearly trying to cause a bit of chaos at the breakdown, but maybe getting a bit too eager there.
Yeah, and there we go, Sam. Exeter call for the posts, and they'll be looking to get this early sort of lead on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair decision. We saw their line-out be used just a minute ago, but clearly now they've gone, let's go for the points, let's get some points on the board, and yeah, as you said, set those intentions well.
I mean, we were mentioning just how wonderful these conditions are for kicking, from a kicking perspective. That's just glorious, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Dry ball, barely any wind here in Rugby 1, and yeah, I'm sure Exeter's 10 will be loving his duty right now.
Now, BUCS Meyer, of course, back in the Cardiff Met squad.
Yes.
He's been away again on international duty. A word on his kicking game? It's incredible, huh?
I think I can speak for everyone when we say BUCS could probably kick the ball from anywhere in Exeter's half, but probably his own as well. He has definitely got a big boot on him, but Exeter's 10 here clearly showing that he also can bring something to the game.
Yeah, Exeter's 10, Benji Mills, a nice way to start off his kicking. But let's just take a little look at that penalty that meant that Cardiff Met are now down 3 points to nothing with about 5 minutes played. Do you think that's a little bit careless early on from Cardiff Met? Do you think they were just...
As I said, I think it's eager, but you can see the ref there has clearly told him to leave it, and he's gone for a second attempt, so I think that's a pretty fair call, and Exeter have capitalised on it.
Okay then, work for Cardiff Met to do. 3 points down within the first 5 minutes, but we know that these first halves are really crucial as well in just gaining momentum into the second. So BUCS Meyer it is. There's the man who's back from international duty. His first big carry of the game.
Oh, there's loads of room open in this open side here if they can get to it. Oh.
Such a shame, Sam, because like you say, there was plenty of space if they were able to get it through the hands quick. Exeter was stretched out on this near side.
Yeah, absolutely. They're focused on their line speed at the minute, and I don't know about the decision there. I thought they might be slightly offside from the breakdown, but the ref has seen otherwise, and Met have been penalised again.
Yeah, I think it was Liam Jones actually who was pulled up for that one. You know, he's been involved in the London Irish Academy. He scored actually earlier this season against Hartpury, so he's been in good form. So one to watch out for, the number 6, just getting a little bit of treatment over there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Liam loves the tackle, he loves the contact, and although he's getting treatment now, he won't be coming off anytime soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
No commentator's curse, touch wood.
He's a tough cookie. All right, so Exeter take back possession. And Rob Gaffin in the number 2 shirt for the green and white tonight. Yeah, the ref just urging them on to get play going. Craig Evans, the referee for tonight, supported by Carwyn and Jack Davies on the sideline. And here we go then, Exeter booming into that first challenge, blimey. And once again, the 13 for Exeter, Zach Wimbush into contact. Looking good with ball in hand now are Exeter. Number 10 just failing to complete that pass, and yeah, Cardiff Met managed to find a way just to hold that Exeter attack.
Yeah, absolutely. In defence, Cardiff Met holding strong at the minute, giving Exeter some challenge. But yeah, Exeter are definitely firing those hard lines from even their 13, and yeah, they're piercing that defence. But yeah, we hold on. Cardiff Met hold on one more time.
Exeter, despite that mishap and that missed pass, I mean, they're looking dangerous with ball in hand, especially when they get it out, quickly.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I spoke about in the first couple of minutes that their forward pattern looked promising, but when you have a man mounted like Zach Wimbush at 13, you'd be stupid not to use him.
Yeah. I mean, he was huge. I saw him warming up just down there, a few minutes ago when I was down in the studio with Neve, and he's a sight. He is a beast.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think he showed there with the carries that they're probably using more than once tonight, and I'm sure when he gets open ground as well, he'll show that he's got some speed to him. But hopefully Cardiff Met can hold on to him a little bit longer.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Cardiff Met player just getting a little bit of treatment. As we say, it's been physical early on. Already we've seen 2-3 players actually getting touched up by the physio. That says it all, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, hopefully it's nothing major, and it's just minor injuries. He looks like he's just getting a bit of tape there. So these forwards are going to be key in these opening 40 minutes. So
yeah, here was this last attack by Exeter. Just take a look at how quick they're able to get through it. They're charging with such speed and pace into those defensive tackles from Cardiff Met. That was the one that I thought was just really impressive. The quick hands.
Yeah, we speak about the physicality, but yeah, the 50th cap man clearly showed that he could probably play in the backs if he wanted to as well, because of the quick ball out back. But yeah, now we're back to the scrum and seeing what he can do in the forwards.
And then Cardiff Met get the ball out of the scrum, and it's an early challenge from Exeter. Again, that trusty box kick. Are we going to see once again? Yes, we are.
It's a lovely kick.
Taken in by Noah Fenton for Exeter. Popped up through, and is there space? No, just managed to catch him. Did Tom Pritchard. Cardiff Met calling for some more men out wide because Exeter looking dangerous once again. Oh, that's a huge handoff.
Yeah, that was personal, that one.
Yeah. Oh, there's space here now.
Oh, lovely little dart.
There's space for Freddie Skinner. He's weaving his way through. Very, very important challenge. 15 for Exeter out wide. That's a very, very good handoff. And are they over the line? Exeter are. The first score of the night goes to the men in green. Impressive once again with the backs, Sam.
I'm waiting for this replay because that was an absolutely outrageous offload. As we saw a little bit, at the end of last year with Australia here, like Len Ikitau and his offload, he's clearly been taking a bit of inspiration there because this was outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, it was this first run from Freddie Skinner that was really, really impressive. I know he spoke a little bit after the Leeds-Beckett game about how he was hoping to bounce back from that, and then there was the offload. Whoa. Sam, how tough is that to do?
Oh, I'm sure he's probably practiced that many, many times on the training field, but the coach is probably shouting him to use it more often. But yeah, as Cardiff Met defence there, I don't know how you stop that.
Yeah, Jed Findley, congratulations, because that was some pass to assist that try.
Yeah, I give that 2 weeks and that's in the highlight reel somewhere.
And can they maximise that try? No, they can't. It's tumbled into that right post.
The Cardiff Met defence extending to the post.
Yeah. Why not have that 16th man?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, should it be the 17th? The ultras are the 16th man, aren't
absolutely. Everyone in that crowd right now will be cheering him on, and definitely 16 all the way to probably 70 by the time you count every single supporter in there. But
so 8-0. The Exeter men lead here on Rugby 1 tonight.
Stolen.
Is that a bit of a tumble there?
Yeah, I think Cardiff Met hand got in there to bat it back, to put a bit of pressure on Exeter there, and it clearly worked, because now it sees the Archers in an attacking display in Exeter's half, so hopefully they can count on this now.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen Cardiff Met in this sort of territory in the Exeter half, especially with the ball. I mean, they've been defending there. There's a few big hits early on in the first few minutes.
Yeah. It would be key for every time Cardiff Met enter the 22 or even a half today to come away with some points, and I'm sure that's the message from the sideline, but the boys will know now in this attacking opportunity they really have to capitalise.
Here we go then, 12 minutes played, and Cardiff Met looking to try and get first points on the board with this attack. BUCS Meyer, nice little offload into Henry Kerwin.
It's great defence there.
Yeah, very, very quick out to the ball are Exeter. Again, men out wide if they can find hand to ball.
Bit of confusion there, it seems like.
Into challenge, Cardiff Met go. Gethin Cannon. Oh, Exeter pushing those men in maroon back, and BUCS Meyer goes up for the crossfield kick. Who's going to get under this one? It will be Henry Kerwin. But unfortunately it falls to a green shirt.
The bounce of the ball.
Yeah.
It's never your friend. We might see an exit here.
Yeah, Exeter just setting themselves a little bit after potentially a dangerous crossfield kick from BUCS Meyer. That one goes up very, very high into the night sky here in Cardiff.
Playing the advantage here.
Gethin Cannon into contact.
Ooh.
Exeter just pulled up there, Sam.
If I was Cardiff Met now, and as I said about BUCS Meyer's boot, I'd probably look for the posts. He's more than capable of doing it, especially in the great conditions we have tonight, but I wonder, oh no, it looks like he's going to the corner.
How difficult is it, do you think, for him coming back into the BSR squad? Obviously, he's been away last week. He was playing against Germany for his home country, the Netherlands. Do you think it's a tough adjustment, or do you think he actually, comes back in quite, with ease?
I mean, I'm sure. Like different climates and different teams work differently, but these are pro athletes. These are athletes that work their best to be in peak performance for every game. So I'm sure BUCS would have loved to come back to the boys, show what he's learned and played with all the Netherlands boys, and hopefully teach these boys a few things, but also get back with his mates and play some good rugby on Rugby 1.
Yeah, he's put in a lovely kick there, metres from that try line. Really, really impressive kick, and he's set his team up well for this attack.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As I said earlier, BUCS Meyer's boot will be a key asset tonight, alongside his control and ability in the backs. But as we see now, Met have an attacking opportunity on the 5 metre line or just outside. And as I said, every entry into 22 tonight needs to be a conversion or a try, and hopefully they can get across the line, and the Ultras will help them on the way.
So just over 15 minutes played here on Rugby 1. It's the 6th team in the table. Cardiff Met taking on the 5th place team, Exeter. Of course, Exeter defending champions, BSR winners last year, Sam.
Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't want to be where they are in the table right now, but as I said earlier, they've got that championship mentality, so they won't give up without a fight tonight.
Okay then, Cardiff Met opt for the push after that line out is taken, and now there's some space, but they opt to go with the forwards. Gethin Cannon into contact. Oh, just a little run there.
Yeah, I wondered if it was crossing.
Yeah. Just caught in the offside position there, was it, Sam?
Yeah, just two players too eager. You saw, I think it was Liam Jones there run a little bit of preempt early.
I mean, it was a good line.
Oh, absolutely. But as I said earlier, I think the key word would be control now. I think they're too eager. Okay. As I said, they know they have to try and score. They know they have to get a conversion, points on the board, and maybe that was just a lapse in judgment quickly there and gives the Exeter an easy out.
So potentially, when they're getting to that that area where they're getting nearer the try line. Just a bit of composure needed from Cardiff Met.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they just held their line, we see on the replay now, if they held their line for 1 or 2 seconds more, as you'll see, maybe preempt, we just missed it there, but preempt on the line, and maybe 2 seconds later we would have seen them over the try line. Yeah,
all good. There's a lot of action happening here, and it's Exeter just looking to get out of their 22, which they do just about. Freddie Skinner with the box kick into a very central position for Tian Evans to pick up for Cardiff Met. Henry Kerwin into contact now. Very good support from the men in maroon. That BUCS Meyer just letting go of that pass and didn't quite hit the target he was hoping for.
Yeah, it's just a bit loose. I mean, you've got Exeter shooting up in defence, and that long ball maybe is just putting it a bit too risky, and you've got players dropping back wondering where it's going, and yeah, maybe that was a lapse in communication. I mean, I'm not down there and I'm sure the boys will say differently, but yeah, Exeter right now are putting a lot of pressure and it's showing.
I feel like the conditions tonight, I can understand why they're going for those longer passes, because they feel like, you know, it's not too slippery out here. On the wet conditions that we normally see here, it's going to have to be, you know, short passes, simple passes. So I guess we can understand why they're going for that slightly tougher pass, but if it's not working, they're going to have to resort to, like you say, shorter, simpler passes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't be making a judgment if BUCS might just slot through the hole there under the try line, but when it doesn't work, you do question whether Exeter have got the upper hand now.
So Freddie Skinner starts off the attack for Exeter. There's the big man. Out they go out wide to Noah Fenton now.
Oh, has he got it? Has he got it?
Comes back out for the men in green. Seb Driscoll. Important times here for Cardiff Met. They can't be going down another try within 20 minutes. Oh, that's a great line from Benji Mills. He can't go all the way though. Great challenge. Out they go, Exeter to the far side. Quick hands and beautifully, beautifully played. The quick hands from Exeter are paying off. And it's Zach Wimbush who finishes it off. I mean, impressive, Sam. Perfectly played hands and a great attack from Exeter to finish off.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said earlier, we knew it was coming at some point. He's been punching those holes, and as I said, we finally see him his chance to run through the line, and yeah, he scored. So yeah, Exeter really, really putting pressure on Met now.
We mentioned Zach Wimbush. Let's just have a look at how impressive that finish was. There it was. I mean, actually, I'd say it was impressive. He was made pretty easy for him by his team, wasn't it?
He still had to put the ball down. I'm sure he'll tell everyone that tomorrow. But yeah, simple hands down to the line, and as we saw, into the corner to give him another score.
Yeah, Exeter playing really well as a team. We've pointed out a few individual characters that have played a really important part so far in this match, but collectively they've been so good.
Oh, absolutely. Up front at the minute, they look to just be punching those holes. There was a gap around the breakdown, and they've adapted and gone through. And yeah, we saw score in the corner.
Can they maximise that try? Has it got the legs? It has indeed. It's got the juice.
That's a lovely kick.
Benji Mills with the conversion kick. A really, really impressive conversion, that one. And that only bodes well for the rest of this match.
Yeah, although it was an easy try, that wasn't an easy kick.
20 minutes played. Cardiff Met down a deficit of 15 now. Work to do. Well, that's a huge fall from that catch. The kick goes up. Taken in by Tian Evans.
There's space up on the open side if they can get to it on the wings. And in the backfield.
Into contact now, just settling, but again the ball's lost. And it seems that the ref has just pulled Exeter up there.
Yeah, I think he said it was ripped in the tackle, but just gone forward. So Exeter, although they have that edge in defence, they seem to just force that mistake there, which I think is a lucky escape for Cardiff Met.
So an action-packed first 20 minutes or so, but it's been really a story about Exeter's attack.
Yeah, as we spoke about setting those foundations early on, I think Cardiff Met have, but as we said, lack of control in certain areas, missed passes and stuff like that, just give Exeter that upper hand, and now sees them 15-0 up on the board and in a promising position in the game. So Cardiff Met need to keep going now, get that attacking edge back and keep the fight up.
Here we go then, Vikas Meyer looking to kick into some territory, but it's taken in nicely by Jed Finley, and he sends it straight back to the Dutch international. Slightly low one, kick tennis.
Bounce of the ball is never your friend. I've said it once, I'll say it again.
Henry Cohen takes it in now. Will they look? No, they'll put boot to ball once again, and that's gone out. So yeah, an interesting little bit of tennis there.
Yeah, a bit of dominance up the field, trying to get that upper hand, and I think Cardiff Met might have just edged their way into the upper hand there, winning that kick tennis race, as we said.
So Rob Gaffin with the injection from the touchline, and it comes out into the green again. A huge line. Will Exeter look to go through the hands once again? It's been serving them well so far, but no, they go for the kick.
Oh, there could be some danger here.
Here we go then, Tian Evans. Nice little kick through, but it's collected by a green shirt.
Cardiff Met now need to capitalise on this. They can play the advantage.
Can they catch the green? Slightly off guard. Exeter have set a little better now.
Oh, there's a slight tap down there in the tackle.
A little bit all over the place. I mean, it seems like it's going from one end to the other, and then, you know, a green shirt is dropping it, then a maroon shirt is dropping it. Slightly all over the place at the moment, Sam. Would it be fair to say?
Yeah, we said it pre-game. These two teams are next to each other in the table. Although reigning champions Exeter, they haven't been on great form recently, and as we're seeing now, both teams are going head-to-head. No matter what the score is on the scoreline, Cardiff Met aren't giving up, and Exeter certainly aren't giving up. So yeah, they've really come to blows right now.
I mean, you know, we're in round 17 of BUCS Super Rugby now. One more round before we head into the playoff stages. They've had a lot of time to get together as a team, you know, to build themselves into good form. Do they feel, you know, you've been in and around the camp, do they feel like they are in good form at the moment? What's the general consensus?
You can always focus on the scorelines and obviously the table position. The boys will always be aware of. Oh, I'm going to stop talking for a minute.
Potentially some space here. Henry Kerwin got lots of space down in this far right side. Sorry to cut you off, Sam.
No, it's okay.
But it's taken into touch, and that's what they want to get more of, is more space on that side so Henry can use his pace, because we've seen him score so often this season in those corners where he's taken a defender on and he's beaten them.
Oh, absolutely. We're very lucky to have Henry Kerwin, Sevens talent, using the 15s game here at Cardiff Met. We've seen him on the international stage, the Sevens circuit, running his stuff, and he knows where put his foot to the floor and run fast, and we just need to be able to adapt that tonight.
I feel like he's someone who would perform very well in a combine. You know, he's got a lot of physical talent about him. He's quick, he's strong, you know.
I'm sure he'll love you for saying that as well. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he would do in a different sport. And we can't say it hasn't been done before by a Welshman. So
no.
We will soon see.
Yeah, wonderfully important character to think about. You know, is that man? So yeah, it's interesting.
It is indeed.
A big fight for the ball here. I can't even see where that ball is landing, but it comes out. I think it's with Exeter.
With an upside down Gethin Cannon rolling out of the ruck.
Into contacts they go. Just outside of their 22 are Exeter. Will they look to go for that box kick once again? They will indeed. Freddie Skinner goes up into that old faithful box kick, straight to Tian Evans. He's just assessing his option and does kick it straight back into that very, very same place that we saw pretty much that same passage of play happen just a few minutes ago, where actually Cardiff Met looked to just try and get a bit of territory.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sure he probably wanted that to be a bit further, but it's all about that kicking game, getting that dominance, going up with the pitch. I'm sure they just wanted to get the ball out. Now we can reset the line out and put pressure on their own 22. It's all about applying that pressure and forcing that mistake.
Okay, a good, strong line out from Exeter. And a good line. Once again. Freddie Skinner just securing the ball. And up it goes once again. This time it will be Henry Cohen under the ball to catch. And he's slightly just come round the side of that ball, and that hasn't gone much distance at all, has it?
Yeah, as I said before, Cardiff Met winning the kicking game. I think Exeter, as you can see, we've slightly gone up the pitch from the kick tennis game, and Exeter now on the upper hand.
I mean, who do you think it favours the kicking game out of these two sides? Is there a particular style of play that kicking game suits?
I mean, obviously, I see it from a Cardiff Met point of view, and when you have a BUCS who has a missile for a foot, he can certainly use that, and it will favour Cardiff Met. However, we've seen from Exeter that with the conversions from tight angles and the kicking game, that they can do that as well. So, yeah, well, and from the box kick, we've seen that numerous times. So, yeah, I wouldn't say it favours too many teams, but it's definitely a tactic they've deployed tonight. I'm sure the forwards won't be favouring this many scrums.
Yeah, getting towards the end of the season, yeah. Big matches coming up on the weekends. Yeah, that's going to be tough for them. So they're trying to avoid too many scrums tonight. This is a hugely contested scrum.
I was about to say, they won't be liking the scrums if it continues this way.
Yeah, I mean, that was physical.
Oh, massive shot.
Arthur Moore with a big hit in that previous phase. Exeter outgo the Cardiff Met defence there, and they're looking to go wide. Will they look to come the other way? They will indeed, but Cardiff Met are in there trying to get hands on ball, and they do indeed. Well done, Cardiff Met. Craig Evans pulls up the green shirt there.
As I said, it's all about that applying the pressure. You saw the counter-up go over there. Two Cardiff Met players go straight through. It creates that chaos around the breakdown, and one of the Cardiff Met players managed to get over and secure the ball, and as Craig Evans is awarded, holding on there. So yeah, things like that will get them ahead in the game, as you see on replay.
So you'd put that down to the pace of Cardiff Met and getting into that ruck?
Yeah, it's that dog mentality. I know as a team they speak about it all the time, and it's whether the score's against you, whether the tackle's against you, you get up, you fight. And as we saw there, the boys did not give up in that ruck, and they were awarded with a penalty of their own.
Slightly alternative style with Cardiff Met just seemed like they were just strolling into that line out, but they lose it. Exeter once again gifted back the ball, and it's a brilliant run from Exeter. Potential offload, but decides to go to ground. Zach Wimbush now.
Massive tackle for Henry Cohen. Oh, needs to be careful there, he's not goes off his feet.
A little bit of afters, but Exeter pulled up for that one. Sam, what was that all about?
I think the ref gave a forward pass there, and again it came from that man. I think it was Liam Jones. He shot out the line, make that hit. Whether he makes that hit immediately when the ball comes, but it makes that Exeter player think, oh, you've got a big player like Liam Jones come in, you must get the ball away, and forces a mistake like it has. As I said, it's all about applying that pressure, and Cardiff Met have seemed to get their foot back in the game now, and again, dog mentality always.
Entering into the last 10 minutes of this first half, it seems it's crucial for Cardiff Met to at least get something out of this first 40 minutes.
Yeah, as we've seen in previous games, getting that score by half-time is vital. You need to go into that second half with a bit of positive news. I'm sure from the sideline and the coaches, they'll be feeding those positive messages, but as a player, you really want that score on the board just to show that you've got something from that half. Another brutal scrum.
Yeah, fierce scrum once again, and out it goes to BUCS Maya, who once again opts for that kicking game. That's a much better one though, and it's taken in by a Met player, and are they going to score in the corner? Cardiff Met are through. All set up by that kick from BUCS Maya and taken full advantage of, and I can't quite see who it was who got over the line. I think it might have been Chris Johnson.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I was just mesmerised by the offload. As we see on the replay, you might be able to see who it was. I think it might have been Toby Locke.
That had, it seemed, a lot more height on it, just allowed the Cardiff Met winger there to get underneath it.
Look at that. Whoa.
Oh, it's Ollie Mile. Toby Locke.
Toby Locke.
You were right.
Toby Locke, I was right. I had that inkling that it was him, but he was lurking and waiting for that offload, and yet again I mentioned the name Len Flicky Tau one more time because clearly Jack Staton took a bit of inspiration from Exeter early on and created an absolute masterpiece for himself.
Well, while I continue to get teams mixed up, BUCS Maya aims to convert this try. Silence from the ultras. As BUCS Maya goes for goal and gets it. That trusty foot of his pays off once again. They're on the board, Cardiff Met.
As I said, vital. That score, almost like they heard me say it, it's vital for this half. Hopefully one more. Plenty of time left in this half for them to get another score on the board, but yeah, that was very, very important.
Benji Mills to get play back underway. Into contact go Cardiff Met. Will they stick with their guns and with this kicking game? Because they've seen little success from it, but that previous play, they scored the try from the BUCS Maya kick. So it's going to be interesting to see how long they stick with it.
Yeah, you've got to stick to your processes. If it's something they've spoken about pre-game, just if it goes wrong once, I mean, as we saw, BUCS stuck the absolute spiral bomb up in the air ahead of that try, and it works and sometimes it doesn't. So you just have to stick to your processes and play the game in front of you.
Benji Mills goes to that little grubber through, but BUCS Maya picks it up and goes straight into touch.
Just outside his 22 there.
So Exeter will come back with a line out there.
Again, it's almost like they heard me. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And there's just a clear show that sometimes maybe kicking game isn't on.
I just feel like a balance needs to be struck a little bit more. It seems like it's so predictable. Every time it gets into BUCS's hands, he's going for that kick. So maybe just finding that balance.
Yeah, but also it'll catch the defence off guard, because if Exeter are expecting it, maybe a little tip out or a little kick in behind, change of direction, just cause a little bit more chaos.
So Zach Wimbush. Oh, again, it's the quick hands, and Exeter are now meters. Cardiff Met need to show some defensive skills now, but Exeter inches now away from that try line. Yeah, and Exeter are over. They get another try here on Rugby 1, and it's such a shame because Cardiff Met got themselves back within touching distance, and Exeter just extend their lead straight away.
Yeah, that's probably not what they needed right now. That momentum's now kind of been slowed down a little bit more than what Cardiff Met probably hoped to, but you can't fault the try.
Yeah, let's take a little look, because they were nearly in on that near side, but Cardiff Met showing some good defensive skills, but then Exeter just using their powerful forwards there, you know, the likes of Tom Gully, Joe Bailey.
Yeah.
You know, they're strong lads, and you know, they got the better of the Cardiff Met forwards there.
Yeah, just wriggling it over. You can't stop them from 5 metres out. Bit of an easier kick for Exeter now.
Yeah, he's seen some tougher ones today compared to this one. Oh. Yeah, he's curved it in. Very, very nice from Benji Mills. And Exeter extend their lead to 22 points. Now, Cardiff Met 7, Exeter 22. 5 or so minutes to go in this first half. BUCS Maya to get us back underway. Yes, screams of yes, yes, mine, mine from the men in green, and taken really, really securely.
Yeah, that's what you love to hear though, the eagerness to get under the ball no matter what the score is. They might be up by 15 points, but they'll continue fighting.
Yeah, again, Exeter just held up there, so Cardiff Met managed to get that penalty gone their way.
Yeah, what's good to hear there is no matter what the score is, what mistakes they make, they're celebrating every little victory. And you hear it from the sideline below us, but also you hear it on the field from certain leaders, but the whole team as well. Just small victories, going forward in the game, keeping that momentum. Don't think about the scoreline, think about what's happening next job.
Harry Rice putting that ball in, and BUCS Maya is there ready and waiting. He opts to go through the hands this time. Oh, it's just spilled forward by Cardiff Met, and now Exeter back with the ball. And
that is a great kick.
Yeah, they kicked to touch. That was very, very impressive. It almost seemed like he was kicked that ball as he was moving backwards still.
Yes, but an absolute great clearance. And yet again, Cardiff Met just find themselves working backwards and not being able to put a foothold in the game.
It does seem to me that when it does go through the hands, which I like to see, I think it looks a little bit more secure, but in saying that, it doesn't look as secure as when Exeter do it.
Yeah, again, it might just come down to the boys acknowledging the scoreline or feeling it in the game. We've had loads of scrums, loads of mistakes, but respectively they're still willing to try and play the game, and they're playing little things like this now, little darts around the corner, little passes that maybe shouldn't be on but trying it and it's sticking, as we saw with the kick for the try, for the Cardiff Met try. Maybe it shouldn't have landed that way, but the luck of the ball, the bounce of the ball and how the game plays, you've just got to try these things.
Yeah, again, potentially sloppy from Cardiff Met because they had men out there. They were looking to go with the forwards because, I mean, Henry Kerwin here was pretty much left on his own. They were looking to try and get that front pack into play a little bit more, but just slipped up.
Yeah.
So a halfway line kick for Benji Mills, and it goes right into the fans on the Cardiff Met 22. So a very, very nice attacking position for the defending BUCS Super Rugby champions, Exeter University. Well held from the Cardiff Met defence, but out it goes. Zach Wimbush into that contact.
Whoa.
That's a good challenge from BUCS Maya. Charlie Bell now for Exeter. Just spilt forward.
Loads of space, but who's chasing?
Yeah, two Cardiff Met players latch on to that green shirt and take him down very well. That's a good hit.
Cardiff Met needs to be careful now. They've got loads of room out here that Exeter are looking to exploit.
Exeter, fast hands once again. There's the big man, Zach Wimbush. That's a good handoff. It's a nice little pop-up ball. You can see mud flying off the back of boots at the moment. Craig Evans just pulling up Exeter for that one. Sam?
Held tackle, I think he said there. The Exeter player tackle was made. Exeter player clearly thought he wasn't, got back up, tried to continue running, but as Craig Evans has pointed out, tackle was made and Cardiff Met get awarded for that.
Yeah, so closing final couple of minutes now in this first half. They're holding on, Cardiff Met. They're holding on, but it's edgy.
Yeah, I think it just shows you've got loads of players hands on knees getting attention from the physios. It clearly shows how this game has been physical, and the players have every right to take a breather for 5 seconds. But hopefully it continues in the second half because this has been a hell of a game so far.
Again, like we said about 10 minutes ago, it feels like Cardiff Met just need another score, just to keep themselves a little bit closer to Exeter. And it hasn't gone out. Vikas Maya unable to put that kick into touch, and it goes straight into the hands of a green shirt who kick it back to the Dutch international. And up it goes, very, very close to us in the commentary box. Doesn't quite catch us.
You can hear the frustrations in Vikas' voice there as he saw it go out to touch. They're trying to exploit this Exeter defence, and yeah, there's little mistakes there. They're trying to force it maybe a bit too much, but it will come. It will come. They're just got to keep going. They've got to keep sticking to their processes and try and hold on to Exeter.
Cardiff Met calling for men because Exeter are looking like they're going to pounce. But the work was done there in the breakdown. Gethin Cannon, I think it was.
I think it was Max Surrey, actually.
Oh, Max Surrey.
Yeah.
Both of them working together on that one, or is that?
Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely. I'm sure Max Surrey would be very proud of that one, getting the boys out of a bit of trouble there. But yeah, clamping onto that ball, making sure it doesn't go, and Craig Evans yet again awarding the boys and the ball going out on this one, which is
just about. The Exeter lad did almost insane acrobatic to try and keep that ball in play, but yeah, doesn't quite manage to do it.
Can't fault the commitment.
No.
Great take in the line out.
Chris Johnson with a big hit into contact. Out they go. Potentially space for Cardiff Met. Taken down by a green shirt. They've got men out here to Cardiff Met. Out the other way they go. Nice little line from Harry Rice, I think it was. Now someone have to take Rice's position as scrum half while he's down on the ground.
Cardiff Met need to widen their attack. They're a little bit too narrow. Punching holes through here, though, mind.
Yeah, they're making some ground right now. They've gone down the blind side. Nice Chris Johnson into contact, but again, good coverage from him.
I'm just watching Henry Cohen on this near side near us. He spotted a bit of space and he's hugging this touchline.
Henry Cohen is screaming for it out here, but the forwards still really making great ground. Can they do it all themselves? They've gone down the blind side. Inches away now, Cardiff Met.
Just need to stay disciplined. As I say, a key word, control. They see the line, but let's get over it.
Yeah, no room for let up now. And from a Cardiff Met perspective, you hate to see that.
You do. They probably wanted to try there, but I think the ref's given a scrum to us as the ball wasn't playable. So, in fact, they might actually use the reset to then go out wide. And as I said, Henry Cohen's been hugging this touchline and screaming for it for dear life. So maybe the forwards might take the breather for the minute and let the backs play with the ball a little bit more.
I was going to say that, like you said, they might actually benefit from that reset. They've got a little bit more space. I think Gareth Baber there just going through his thoughts and thinking how Cardiff Met are going to work their way through this one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But as you said, the scrum now allowing the boys to set. They've got man on ball in the backs. You've got big carriers like Chris Johnson and Jack Statton in the centres. Can they pierce that hole? They really need it before half-time.
So a little bit of a break in play. Time, as we said, for Cardiff Met to reset and potentially help them in this attack.
Again, Henry Kerwin's hugging this near touchline. He's really, really stretching this Exeter defence, which might leave some holes in the middle. Or push back in the scrum, though.
I mean, that's such powerful force from Exeter, but Cardiff Met managed to hold on. They're pretty narrow still, looking to go through the forwards, but no, it's stolen from a green shirt. Exeter regain possession and out it goes. Half time, Cardiff Met 7, Exeter 22. Yeah, not surprised that they opt to just call things a day there for the first half. They'll be very, very happy with that first 40 minutes, won't they, Exeter?
Yeah, I mean, just that final 5 minutes there kind of sums up the half. The defence of Exeter holding on and keeping out Cardiff Met, and that's kind of been the theme throughout. We've had scrums, we've had knock-ons, we've had the tennis game being kick tennis game be used, and yeah, Exeter you see they're jogging in with pride probably, and the Cardiff Met boys as well just regroup and then come back out for the second half.
I mean, I've spoken a bit with Tom Coles in the last few weeks, obviously the backs coach for Cardiff Met. Do you think he'll think that actually this is where we can change the game around with our backs, or do you think it will actually be the forwards that can make the difference for this second half?
I mean, I think we've seen here, like from Exeter and both from Met, I mean, Exeter's 13, he is a back, but he's playing as a forward, he's running the hard lines, he's piercing those holes. So for Cardiff Met, I'm sure with the centres, they do exactly the same, and I'm sure Tom Cole would be eager for them to showcase the talent they have because they're talented rugby players. But it depends how the game plan goes, and we'll see in the second half if they can get that ball into Henry Kerwin, Toby Lock, the try scorer, and yeah, really start to cause chaos for Exeter this time.
Final thoughts, Sam, from you as the Ultras come onto the pitch. Final thoughts and your best play of the first half.
Oh, definitely, I've got to give a shout out to both of the offloads. Absolutely outrageous pieces of skill, and as I said, like the ball's going to be thrown around. Sorry, I'm just seeing the Ultras giving their best jockey impressions, but I think the talent was more shown with the offloads than what I'm seeing right now. But yeah, no, definitely those offloads. Yeah. You can't teach that. That is pure skill.
Very good. Well, half-time here on Rugby 1. Now, last week we had a professional tennis event happening on campus. It was the UTR Pro Tennis Tournament. Lots of world-ranked players headed to the Welsh capital. Let's take a look at one player in particular who stood out.
Tennis isn't made out to be the sport where you're going to be nice and be successful. I have to separate like who I am from what I do. I mean, one of the biggest like learning curves for me, I played Sinner in juniors. I think that's helped me as a player. Fun fact about me, if you want to know that. You're known around the circuit as the nice guy of tennis, right? Okay, yeah. So first of all, that must make you feel good about yourself. Yeah. I mean, I try and be nice to everyone around, you know, and I think that's just the way I was brought up, was just to be a nice, person. But yeah. Tennis isn't made out to be the sport where you're going to be nice and be successful. Yeah. How do you manage to be that fierce competitor on court? Yeah, I think it's something that, like, as I've grown up through tennis, I've realised that I have to separate like who I am from what I do, and it's like been quite a long journey because especially like in juniors, I was always like trying to play nice and be respectful, and then I think as kind of growing up, you realise that like you can't always be like that. But yeah, it started to just be a bit more relentless and not let people off, and I think that's helped me as a player. I mean, one of the biggest like learning curves for me, I played Sinner in juniors. I've played him a couple of times, and seeing his game, he had this dedication to taking the ball early and hitting big, and he didn't care about results. And then he's world number one, and we've had very different paths. I think that's something that I'm now only kind of realising, is that playing the right way is a good thing, and the results long term, will get better, and it doesn't matter about how well you do now, as long as you're getting better as a tennis player, because it'll catch up. You spent some time at Moratoglu Academy? Yeah, spent about 3 years there. I think it's very easy at that age to kind of go down a dumb route and get caught up with being young, and so yeah, it was a very professional environment, and I got taught how to act like a professional very early. Patrick, I mean, we had a little bit of time. I did a bit with Serena before her French, I want to say like 2017 or 18. Her training partner at the time had dropped out, so then I had to step in, for I think about 3 weeks, so we spent a lot of time together. Unreal. And so got a lot of time with Patrick, and he didn't say a lot, but what he said made a big impact. Warmed up Djokovic for the semi-finals, but then before that, one of the days was like with Monfils, Dimitrov, Holger Rune, Tsitsipas, Paolo Badoza. Up until then, I'd had quite a strict, routine, and then spending a bit of time, looking around, going, oh, maybe I need to relax up a little bit. I just don't know, because I get quite OCD with things. I've had little things where I've like had to have breakfast at the same, breakfast table before matches, and it gets a little bit like paralysing. Yeah. Their serves were way better than mine. Right. And I realised that, okay, I'm not going to go any further if I don't, make my serve into an actual weapon. Another bit of a celebrity that I feel like you've played with before is Jack Whitehall. Is that correct? Yeah. How on earth? Yeah. Why were you with him on a tennis court? Yeah, well, it's funny. There was Jack and there was Woody Harrelson in that same photo. Yeah. So I do a bit of paid hitting, especially around London. So it kind of keeps your income up. And so we've walked on court in Campden Hill. Oh, I mean, maybe I shouldn't be exposing where they play, but yeah. So we've walked in and Jack and Woody are on the court in front of us. But then, and also a little fun fact is during the summer when I've got the chance, I can officiate a polo match down the road. And yeah, there's the fun fact about me if you want to know that. I mean, I can't not ask you how on earth you know how to officiate a polo match. Yeah, I mean that was random. That came up because so down the road there's so I've been cycling and doing a lot of my workouts on this massive open grass area, and they were like, oh, this is polo ground. Would you be interested in learning? So I was like, okay, yeah, it fits into my schedule, and so I've got taught up and unreal. Yeah, now I can officiate a polo match. Yeah, as you do.
There you go, from one court to another. I'm joined with netball player Maddie Lovett. How are we, Maddie?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, I'm very glad to have you with me right now. So you play for Wales under-21s netball, and you also play in the BUCS second team in Met?
Yeah.
So how does playing with Wales compare to playing with Met?
I mean, I'm not going to say it's a high level because that would just completely be rude to the Met team. But Wales is much more you have to try your hard 24/7, 100% background. You have to do your S&C and everything. And with Wales, there's much more competitions broad, national. This year we have the World Youth Cup coming up, and we're all trialling for that all week through this year.
Yeah, I suppose it does showcase just how high the level of athleticism is in Met for playing for the Twos and Wales. You must be so proud of yourself.
Yeah, I try not to brag about it. But I know there's 9 girls from Met who play for the Wales 21s, and I think there's also younger girls coming to Met next year who wants to be part of this.
Sounds amazing. Will you be trying out for the Dragons or anything?
Yeah, I mean I trialled this year, but I'm still quite young for the whole Dragons scenario. But next year I'm hoping to trial again.
There you go. You said you are young, you're a fresher. What are you studying?
Scram.
Oh, nice, okay. So woman in sport. But would you be playing in varsity this year, or is that mainly for third years or anything?
So we had to trial last week for it. I wasn't successful, but they are looking more for the older years, more experience, people who have done it before and all of that.
Yeah, so netball is primarily a female sport. Do you feel proud being a woman in sport? Obviously you study a sporty course. What is it to you?
Yeah, I mean sport has been everything to me since I was a young girl, 6 years old. I've been in it. And Met has just made me feel even more proud to be part of the sport, because everything, there's pictures, nutritionists, psychologists, everything, we get everything here.
Yeah, that was my next question. Are there loads of female roles in Met, and do you your physios and that, do you feel like you are in a female space?
Yeah, I have all the coaches in netball are female, and we have girls from the ones also coaching girls in the lower teams, their development leagues and everything. And then we also have the male psychologists and everything, but they understand it from a female perspective as well.
Yeah, well that all sounds really positive, but I suppose you do face some challenges. Do you notice you face challenges during your time at Met?
Yeah, well not necessarily at Met. At Met I haven't had any challenges at all, but with the Wales setup I know there's a lot more funding in other sports than netball. We have to do a lot more fundraising, etc. and
Yeah, what do you think people can do in order to raise the profile of netball to get more funding?
I think just recognising that netball is such a high profile sport, loads of girls play it, it's probably the most competitive female sport there is.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think just representing it in social media, everything, just talking about it more.
Do you feel like there's enough opportunities for you?
Yeah, definitely. At Met we have the performance leagues and everything, so we have all of the setups. And then we have Wales, and then you have franchises such as Cardiff Dragons, Surrey Storm and all of that. But yeah, there's so much opportunity.
Yeah, and obviously there's the Super League on Sky Sports, so do you feel like you're seeing more of women's sports in netball or being like broadcast as well?
Yeah, definitely. Like this year, netball's become professional, so people get paid now, and it's all like free to watch on Sky Sports, BBC Sports. So it's really fun.
There you go. Well, thank you for raising awareness for that. It's been lovely talking to you. I'm going to throw back up to comms. So back to Sam and Alex over in commentary.
Thanks very much, Neve. Yeah, minutes away now from getting this second half underway, and hopefully, from a Cardiff Met perspective, seeing a little bit more, I don't know, something in this second half, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, like again, we said like earlier, the 16th man, the Ultras, we saw their halftime show there of doing their races and doing their best jockey impressions. But the Cardiff Met team really need that kind of oomph in that second half. They need the input from the Ultras. We've got a packed out Rugby 1 tonight, and they really need to get behind these Archers because they know they have to get a job done.
We actually haven't mentioned the Ultras too much so far in this coverage. Yeah, what are your thoughts over there? Some interesting costumes as usual.
Yes.
Not WWE this week, Sam.
No, they saved the less clothes for the winter time when it's colder, but they pick the outfits for the summer. But no, I mean, it's always good to have the Ultras on the sideline. Come rain or shine, they're always there. And in the dark times, like a scoreline like now, the Archers will have their input from half time, but they'll really need that kind of crowd's momentum to push them forward and over that line, and they'll be a key figure in this second half.
Yeah, interesting to see Exeter out first. Just the impact players, they're getting ready to cheer their men on back onto the pitch first. Is that a bit of a statement in itself? I feel like they're here to get a result and then go back to Exeter, having clinched the W.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I mean, Exeter could also come into the second half and expect not much from Cardiff Met, and that team huddle and team kind of message at half time for Cardiff Met might be an important one. And I'm sure, as we said, like Tom Cole and Ian Gardner will have that message going into the team. And yeah, you might see an interesting Cardiff Met team run out on Rugby 1.
Well, there are the Exeter men. Out they come onto this pitch. They're looking raring to go now, and they'll wait for the Cardiff Met Archers to come back after their little pep talk from coach Ian Gardner, as you say, Sam. But here they come, the Archers. They got a hell of a performance to put in this next 40 minutes or so if they're going to have a chance of clawing this one back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But they've also got to just calm into the game. I'm sure there'll be some changes during half-time and some impact players coming on, but they need to steady into their processes. They know what they've got to do. They've definitely got the skill to do it, and we've seen it on both the Cardiff Met and international stage for the under-20s. But yeah, they know what they've got to do in the second half, and let's see if they can put on a show for us.
So, second half underway. Vikas Meyer, the man to kick us off. Taken in, I believe, by Benji Mills for Exeter. Yeah, Cardiff Met sensing the kick could be coming, so just holding back a few back players.
Here comes the noise of the Ultras, though. This is what I'm saying. They need that rowdiness. They need the input from the Ultras, the drum. They just need that support. And I mean, you see on the sideline, Exeter don't have any support, but have got leeway into this game. And just that 16th man, as I keep mentioning, the Ultras really help the Archers get across it.
Yeah, Exeter have really taken care of themselves tonight. Very well indeed. Been a very clean game from them. Yes, they've had a few mishaps in terms of a few penalties given that probably would have liked to avoid it, but for the most part they've been pretty solid, haven't they? And that shows in the scoreline.
Yeah, they've had no cracks in their defence nor attack, and Exeter have really showed quite a wall for Cardiff Met, and yeah, hopefully Cardiff Met can break down that wall.
And the kick goes up and it's taken in.
They're very narrow in this kick chase, and Cardiff Met need to look up and maybe look to the wings here. With Toby Locke and Henry Kerwin chasing the ball, but yeah, they're very narrow, and like as you'll see now, it's very open on this near side, and hopefully they see it. Little kick through here maybe.
Yeah, Alex Terry there with with a nice little kick in a lovely bit of space. That is a superb kick from Alex Terry.
50-22.
Interesting. Alex Terry's actually just come on after that first half.
As I said, these impact subs, you'll see them be drip feed in the second half, and this is what he brings to the game. He's come on, made an impact, 50-22, and now given the boys an attacking opportunity, and this is exactly what they need to get back into this game.
Caught me a little off guard actually seeing Terry on the pitch, because I was, hang on, you weren't in there in the first half, so that's clearly a tactical change from the Cardiff Met coaching team to get him on to the pitch, and already he's shown some brilliance. Oh, a little up and over there from Cardiff Met. Exeter regain a bit of possession now.
It just feels like a bit of change now in the air. Cardiff Met are now, you can see they're talking, the aggressions in the tackles more, well, continue from the first half, but again, you hear the ultras singing their way, you hear the boys putting a bit more pressure on Exeter, and like, look, a loose ball there and straight back onto the front foot again.
Lovely time tackle though from BUCS Maya. And we're back in this sort of territory around the Exeter 22. This is the sort of place where Cardiff Met will want to play their rugby. But they need ball in hand if they're going to make a difference. And the kick goes up. And it's just spilled through the hands of Cardiff Met. And Exeter gain a little bit of territory there thanks to that box kick.
Yeah, it's almost like Tian Evans there quickly had a little glance up and saw the Exeter defence coming at them, and yeah, had a quick look up and just lost track of the ball there.
Interesting to see Arthur Moore just gearing up his team for these next few minutes, but let's just take a little look at that slip through the hands. I just feel like he didn't set. He was running, and then the ball came through, and all of a sudden it was all over and done. You know, I feel like you just need to get there a little bit quicker if you can.
As we saw on the replay there, you see a little foot track and maybe a slight hesitation, but you've got to put that in the back of his head now. Yeah. And you've got to next job, because again, it's very still early on.
He's going to have a lot more opportunities. The way this game has been going is, oh goodness me, he's nearly caught that and gone straight through the Cardiff Met defence.
Yeah, that kicking game is now being deployed even more, and yeah, they're definitely finding the gaps now, and both teams are using that as an attacking threat.
And again, I was caught a little bit off guard there, because Zach Wimbush is some sight. When he's charging forward, he is huge. I don't think necessarily the viewers at home will see that on screen, but from here, he's almost as tall as we are, about 10 metres up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'd love to take credit for him having a great game, as I mentioned in previous before the game and on comms as we started. But yeah, he is an absolute man mountain, and he is proving a tough challenge for this Cardiff Met defence.
Was it Tian Evans that brought him down? That just took maybe a couple of minutes to get back up from that one.
Yeah, he looks slightly tender on his legs there, bless him. But he definitely put in a challenge and held on.
Took one for the team. So it comes out of the scrum with the number 8, and now it's into the hands of Henry Kerwin.
Slight forward pass there.
That's unfortunate, because I like to see the ball in Henry Kerwin's hands. That's when I get excited for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, no, the boys will know this. The boys will know they have to get into the winger's hand, not just Henry, but also Toby. But it's how they get it there. The processes. You can't just fling the ball across. And slight forward pass there in the ref's eyes. But yeah, again, you give Exeter another opportunity to score, and they'll take it.
I'm finding it really interesting to see Arthur Moore just almost smacking his players on the back, saying, come on, let's get up for this. You know, he's only a fresher, and he's got that personality where he's thinking, you know, we've still got a chance here, and he's almost taken on that role of being a leader in the team. It's impressive to see.
For Cardiff Met, having a leader like that in the pack is great, but also, as we all know, Wells under 20s player as well. He has that experience on the international stage, even if he is a fresher, and he's key for this Cardiff Met team.
Two players we spoke about before we went on air, Sam, that are in the squad for the under-20 Welsh, the Six Nations. Tell us a bit about that and how impressive that is to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Archer alumni Elijah Wood starting 13, which is great to see, progressing on from Cardiff Met. But current Archer Evan Wood on the bench. He'll come on in the second half and prove a few problems for Scotland. And yeah, I really wish them both well in a tough game this weekend, but they'll definitely prove their importance to the squad.
Yeah, all the best to them in this weekend's game. Oh, that's a great stretch from Exeter. Now they're in a very, very good position indeed. Looks like they're going to go with the forwards for this attack, but potentially just stretching themselves a little bit are the men in green. Oh, they've gone down the blind side, trying to catch Cardiff Met off guard. Going through the phases are Exeter now. Potentially this score could put Cardiff Met to bed.
Massive drive back there from Cardiff Met. They're not about to give up easily. Oh, free ball for the Exeter side.
Fumbled now, but into the hands of an Exeter player. And they're going to come back to that little incident that happened a few phases ago. So a penalty for Exeter in a good position.
Yeah, Exeter were unlucky there. They should have used the ball a little bit more. You saw the ref's arm go out for free ball, and maybe they should have looked to the wing here. There's a little bit of space on the wing, but I'm sure they'll look to power through now.
That was Rob Gaffin, who went straight into contact, and that's another big hit. They're not quite over the line. The subs for Exeter urging their players through this attack, and they have managed to do it. Another score from Exeter, and they were patient in that attack, which is so impressive to see. They trusted their forward to get them through those phases, and they were successful in doing so, Sam.
Yeah, they've done it twice tonight now. Again, they've stuck to their processes. Clearly they had a conversation beforehand about the truck and trailer movements for the forwards and getting over that line and burraging their way over that line. And yeah, they've done it twice tonight, and I'm sure they won't stop doing it now if it's working.
Let's see how the forwards did just that. Boom, there was the first one. And I think it was the next one that they get over the line. There it is. Celebrations, no doubt, because they know how important that score was, really, in the context of this game. You know, not a huge amount of time left now for Cardiff Met to claw their way back.
First score in the second half is always key, and Cardiff Met ideally would have wanted that, and that would have been the message at half-time. But yeah, Exeter continuing to show their dominance and try and take hold of this game.
Potentially Exeter showing the form that they had last year, of course, went all the way to the title in the regular season. It's good to see Exeter putting on this level of rugby.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, that championship mentality never goes away. And Exeter have that pedigree to fight for that. And as we see now, Cardiff Met bringing on some more substitutes and impact players, and that forwards game will continue, I'm sure. And I think Cardiff Met are preparing for that.
So the fighting spirit of Cardiff Met is now going to be tested. How can they respond to this onslaught from Exeter? They're a tough bunch, is this Cardiff Met side. And still a lot to look forward to in this season. Remember, playoffs. And now it's Vikas Meyer, who will be someone who will play a huge part, no doubt, in the rest of the season.
The space is there. It just seems like Cardiff Met are maybe a little bit too flat in the attacking line and give themselves a little bit of room to attack onto. This Exeter line is very, very quick, and as you'll see, it just wriggles through there, but you'll see that Exeter are on top of Cardiff Met before they even catch the ball, and maybe that just one step back and giving them the room to run would see them go through a little bit further.
Yeah, it was Jack Statton covering some good ground there. As you say, Sam, Exeter's defensive line is so quick up to Cardiff Met. And it's Alex Terry with the kick to try and get Cardiff Met in a better position. And unfortunately for them and for Terry, it doesn't do that. It takes them back from exactly where they were when that kick was hit.
That's what a strong defence force is. You make them go to the kicking game, and unluckily for Alex Terry there, it goes straight out, and Exeter have the ball attacking in Cardiff Met's half again, and that pressure just gives you opportunity to go from there, and Exeter will now look to attack one more time.
So Exeter's backs are looking to get ball to hand in this one. They're very, very steep in their attacking line, and in they come. Oh, the pace is just quite something. Out they go. Exeter with some space now, with Ollie Mayal, the man who's making his debut in the first team. Lucas Dorrell, the captain, his 50th cap tonight. Out they go, Exeter into the wide position.
That's a great hit.
Cardiff Met stretched, but holding on for now. Charlie Bell. Space for Exeter. It's fumbled, but Ollie Mayal trying to find a way through, weaving his way through one, but not the next. Now the number 8 for Exeter, Seb Driscoll. Space on the blind side, a couple of players in green. They've gone that side. Can they get it through the hands? Again, fumbled. Ollie Mayal there to pick it up. Henry Kerwin looking to try and fight them off. This is the patience that has been so impressive from Exeter. They're happy to go through the phases inside the Cardiff Met 22 now.
They just look so comfortable in attack. They're just going stage by stage and really forcing this Cardiff Met defence to go up and to meet them. But yeah, they're just etching their way forward. We're looking for that gap.
Again, gone for that linear pass, pretty much straight behind the player.
He's on the ball, he's on the ball.
Oh. Big line from Rob Gaffin. Is it going to be quick ball? It is. They're going to pick and go, it seems, now.
They got free ball as well. The refs give them the opportunity.
Yeah, they're over it, I think, now. And what's been called there? Has that been called a try? Have they got over the line?
I think he's given it.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed inevitable all the way through those phases. It just seemed like Exeter were gaining more and more momentum. They were tiring out the Cardiff Met defence. And it paid dividends because they're over for their 4th try of tonight.
Yeah, again, they go back to that pick and go game, and they've done it 3 times tonight now, and they've showed that power in the forward pack that I said before. And yeah, key characters like Lucas Dorrell and the front row group, they are really causing problems as we see in the highlights now. Yeah, he just crashed over there just by the post.
Yeah, he's sort of hit his head on the way through, which didn't look too pleasant, but the main thing was that he got that ball over the line.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll forget about the head knock when he gets the try.
Yeah. Yeah, and a nice, simple conversion for Benji Mills. He's been impressive tonight. Very, very impressive. It's not too often that we've seen him, you know, too starstruck and miss many kicks.
Yeah, Cardiff Met really need to go for it now. There's nothing to lose. Despite the scoreline, you've got to play rugby. It's Rugby 1 on a Wednesday. Fans are here to watch. I know the boys would fight back into this game, and it's not done till the referee's whistle blows. So they need to really go for it now.
What do you think is going through the minds of Ian Gardner, of Gareth Baber? You know, what do they see that Cardiff Met can do now that's going to benefit them, you know, next week and then heading into the playoffs?
I mean, I'm sure they'll be annoyed at the game, that they'd like to be on the upper hand, and the preparation that goes on the field and off the field for these games is immense, and everyone puts loads of time, including the players and the coaches. So I know they'd be annoyed at the scoreline because the potential of this team is unlimited, and they definitely should be similar on the scoreline to Exeter. However, there are positives from this game. Certain players are playing really well and putting their team on the upper hand and trying to fight back into this game. So although the scoreline is negative, I'm sure their mindsets won't be. They've still got a job to do. They've still got, 20 minutes left of this game, 24 minutes left of this game, and it's not over till the referee's whistle goes. So as far as I'm aware, and I'm sure they'll be the same, the fight ain't over.
Notice George Merritt onto the pitch. So, yeah, he's another one that's coming in.
Yeah, we're seeing more of these impact players being put into the game. Maybe game plans changing slightly, just to give them a new image. Give the players a bit more of an oomph from the sideline, new messages, new outlooks, and definitely fresh legs. Especially in the forwards.
I mean, it's important to note, the club obviously have an important fixture on the weekend. The Premiership side is actually doing very, very well. So it's something that the coaching team and the players are having to get that balance right of, you know, how much do they put into this Wednesday side and how much do they rest these players for that Saturday match?
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, like Saturday games are very important, especially the one this weekend. But you've got talent like BUCS Maya, who's just come back from Netherlands, playing on a Wednesday. So both games are equally important. And as we are at Cardiff Met, we're very lucky with the depth we have, and being able to put out two sides to a high level and that perform really well is a complete compliment to the university and the rugby setup they have here. So although they won't be thinking about Saturday tonight, come tomorrow morning, both teams, both playing now and Saturday, will be supporting each other to progress further in the Premier League, but then also look towards next Wednesday.
And I suppose it's actually really nice to have that combination of the Premiership side and the BUCS side, because if you do end up doing better in one of them, it means in the other you can actually provide some opportunities for some second-team players to have some time on the pitch playing for the first team and get that exposure. Would you say?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sure the coaches will agree. Like, player rotation is key, and you can't always have the same players fit. And it's unfortunate but you can't have always the same players fit. So you've got to be able to train all the players the same and see that new talent come through. Because even when some of these players tonight, third years, graduate next year, you've got that maybe some of the second-team, borderline first-team players this year come through and really show their promise next year. So yeah, absolutely, development is key. This is why I think the impact players have been put on sooner. I'm sure they'd be sick of scrums by the end of tonight, but yeah, the scrum play is definitely proven an insight into the game, and maybe using that as an attacking threat, push the team back, get the ball back, or put pressure on them even further.
Do you think Exeter have had Cardiff Met's number in terms of the set piece, in terms of, you know, scrums, line-outs tonight? It seems that way given the score, but in actual fact, has that been the way it's gone?
I think anyone watching this game will say that actually it's been quite even. Both teams have had their mistakes both in attack and defence, and line-outs and scrums. So it'd be harsh on both teams to say that one area has been weak and one area has been strong. Obviously, you look at the scoreline, and Exeter have been maybe clearly the favourites out of those two, but don't kind of underestimate the ability of Cardiff Met. It's just both teams are still going head to head, and despite the scoreline, both teams have not given up.
Yeah, some very impressive carries in that last phase. It was Seb Driscoll with the big line that caused Cardiff Met to be penalised. And Benji Mills goes to touch. Let's take a look at that last little phase. Sam, your thoughts on that one? I mean, was Cardiff Met in the wrong there?
It's unfortunate. I didn't really see what Cardiff Met did wrong. I mean, the ref's got a closer look than I have, but yeah, I'm not sure what he's done there. The players tried to roll away. I'm not sure if he's given it for that, or it seemed like a big carry and a big tackle, and maybe the ref didn't let it play out as much as possible, but he must have seen something I missed, so not sure there. I'm sure the on-field would be a bit different to what we can see up in the gantry.
Well, we know how experienced Craig Evans is as a referee, so we'll trust his judgment on that one. But Cardiff Met regain some possession here with the error off the line out from Exeter, and BUCS Maya will kick to touch.
Kick.
Yeah, Mahusiv indeed. He'll get clear of their 22, will BUCS Maya. And Cardiff Met were quick up in order to halt that potentially quick line out taken by Exeter.
Yeah, as we can hear now from Impact sub George Merritt, he's clapping the boys on. Where's the energy gone? It's gone very quiet very soon. We can hear the drum back going again. Line out now, they need to go for it. It's not over till it's over. And a great take from Gethin Cannon.
Gethin Cannon holding as tight as he can onto that ball. Now he releases and Alex Terry is there to recycle. George Merritt helping his teammate into contact there. Alex Terry doing a good job to follow the ball and be there, ready and waiting for when it's getting out of the breakdown.
I think Exeter might have got away with that there. A little holding on from Alex Terry. I'm sure he won't be happy with that, and I'm sure he's making his thoughts known. But
yeah, Terry just muscling off a few incoming Exeter players, trying to get their hands on the ball. But Cardiff Met finally having a little... just about to say they were gaining a bit of momentum there and, you know, getting ball through hands, getting it through to the backs, but it's another error.
It's a good sign, though. They're willing to throw the ball around. They saw the referee's arm go out, advantage, free ball. Let's use it. Let's try something new. They're the opportunities where you maybe put a kick in behind, you throw the flat pass, you try something new, and then now, I mean, they're using the penalty, kick to the corner, use Vikas Meyer again. But yeah, it's good to see they're willing to play this rugby.
Let's just have a little look at the slight error. Do you think that's... I mean, the pass actually seemed to go to target where he wanted to. It was just that attack, that defensive line from Exeter was so quick up that he's got to focus on the incoming player. He's got to focus on catching the ball. There's actually a lot to think about there. And when you've got someone as big as the Exeter defence, they're coming at you, it's actually really tough.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you've got to take that risk, especially with the advantage. And that's a high-risk pass, and you probably wouldn't throw that if it wasn't an advantage. But as a result, it sees the Cardiff Met team on the 5-metre line, so nothing's really lost there.
Here we go then. Cardiff Met looking to try and get their second try of the evening. Going through the phases. Gethin Cannon now with hand on ball.
Trying to wriggle their way through this Exeter defence. Oh. Yeah, slight knock on there.
Yeah, it was Alex Terry who was trying to get it out because I think he saw the overlap there. Henry Cohen was coming to support from fullback. Toby Locke was there, but it was just that knock on that stopped him from doing so.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think Exeter were quite unlucky with the turnover there. There was an Exeter player clamped over the ball, and there was a slight pull away from the ball there, and maybe caused the Alex Terry knock on. But yeah, Exeter were unlucky not to get a penalty from that, to be honest. As we see the ultras roaring for their team non-stop. Yeah, I wonder what he gave it for. See, you'll see here, there's Exeter player clamps right on the ball and maybe a neck roll slightly there, but the slight knock on.
I think that's just really unfortunate. It was just bodies getting in the way, and it's slightly, I think, a leg slightly kicked that ball into Terry, and then, it meant that he knocked the ball on. Really tough.
Yeah, one of those slight knock-ons, and maybe it's a bit eager, but if that ball went out, that would have been a try in the corner. And it's little things like that just change the game, and maybe that's why it's 36-7. There's been a few more mistakes from the Cardiff Met side tonight.
I mean, despite it being, wonderful conditions out here on Rugby 1, do you think there's been a few more errors, handling errors, than you've been expecting?
I think maybe because it is dry conditions and it's perfect weather for it, they're willing to throw the ball around a bit more, and that's maybe why there's more mistakes. Rather than the conditions itself causing them, maybe the player mindset behind using the ball is a bit more free than what it would be in the wet, muddy conditions which we normally see here at Rugby 1. So I wouldn't say so much that it's the conditions playing a part of those mistakes, but maybe the player mindset around how they use the ball, using it quickly and then using it to the wings, which has been used a few times, but also with the forwards.
Yeah, so Exeter using that deep line.
There's another free ball here for offside. An easy out for Exeter.
Yeah, as you say, that it just seems like it's too easy for them to get clear of the danger zone as that ball kicked into touch.
Yeah, it almost feels like Cardiff Met are playing into Exeter's trap a little bit. The Exeter line defence is continuous in their face, and Cardiff Met seem to be trying to bustle their way through the defence, but little mistakes like that and little ruck penalties and penalised for hands in the ruck or offsides, and it's really giving Exeter that leeway up the field, and that's not benefiting Cardiff Met at all.
Yeah, very clean line out from Exeter. Out they go to the backs. Oh, that's a good tackle there. Exeter get clear though. Very, very, very good coverage.
Resulting to the forward game again, Exeter.
Some good tackles being put in by Cardiff Met, but Exeter remain with momentum.
Force some mistakes now. Cardiff Met getting in their faces, and we see there a knock-on from a big tackle.
Yeah, that's the big hits doing the damage there, isn't it?
Yeah, we're seeing now that resurgence, getting off the line, getting in their face as Exeter have done so well to Cardiff Met. Getting in their face, not giving them the opportunity to push you out the way or make that slight pass through the side. Shutting down their space and forcing the mistake.
Do you think there's potential for Cardiff Met to actually showcase a bit more creativity in terms of, have they been a bit too predictable in terms of what they've put out there today? Do you think Alex Terry actually needs to maybe just go for a few runs himself straight off the bat?
Yeah, I think the message will be now that, I mean, as you see BUCS kick here, kind of just play the ball, play the game in front of you, maybe stick to your processes, but also trust the player, like BUCS, as we said, the standard they all are on this field. Just back your ability, and as we see here, little chips through that they haven't done in the first half, maybe causing a bit more chaos than they have, and just opening up the game a little bit more. It's been very robotic and very slow from Cardiff Met, but both teams, maybe now, as you said, kind of giving that freedom, just play the ball, just play rugby and just enjoy it now in the final 10 minutes of the game.
Because they are a team that normally do that so well that maybe we haven't seen as much of tonight. They are a team that show creativity and get the ball out wide and showcase all that we have to offer here at Cardiff Met. So yeah, it's interesting to see how that's changed, but I'm sure they'll be back for good next week.
Yeah, I'm sure the message on the sideline as well is, though, that you've got to do the basics before you can do too much.
Sure.
And at the minute, these breakdown penalties aren't helping anyone. And I'm sure the message now is just to leave the breakdowns alone. Yeah, you can't keep giving away these penalties now. That's 2 on the bounce that have given them about, well, halfway up the pitch already. And giving a team like Exeter room to run is not a smart move, as we have seen previously in this game.
So just shy of 10 minutes left in round 17 here at Rugby 1. Remember, Exeter defending champions of this league, and they've been putting on a sublime performance tonight. Oh my goodness, what a push that was.
Exeter have been really inspiring in their attack. They're just non-stop. Look, and we go again in the corner.
We're going again, and once again out in that far side, it was Zach Wimbush with the assist, and yeah, again, incredible speed, incredible pace through the hands, and Exeter showcasing all they have to offer tonight.
Clearly through the week, from the Leeds Beckett loss last week, they've had a clear message of sticking to their processes themselves, but also playing their rugby, because relentlessly through this game they have shown their attacking threat. And as we see on the replay here, quick ball to the back, that man Zach Wimbush yet again with the offload and the little dummy, and then straight into the corner, a little step and diving over. As simple as that, they make it look so easy.
What I love about that with Zach Wimbush is he's taken 2 Cardiff Met players out of the game, because there's 2 of them that are trying to take him down before he gets over to the try line, but he still has the ability to be able to give that pass, and it wasn't the hardest of passes, but he's made it look so easy anyway.
It's that second thought, as we've seen tonight, so many mistakes from little offloads like that, and he makes it look so easy, that Sonny Bill pro-esque like playing style. Yeah. Out the back doors, normal offloads, handing off 2 players as you said, and lovely kick to convert that there.
Yeah, Benji Mills backing it up very, very well indeed.
Yeah, the big man Zach Wimbush giving Exeter that attacking threat.
So Exeter leading 43-7 now. Around 9 or so minutes to go. What can they do to give the fans here tonight? Because I think that's who they'll be playing for now.
Yeah, the boys always play with the heart of the sleeves. Obviously, I know with them, I work with them, and the boys would be quite upset with this and another penalty there. Like the boys work hard and they won't be happy with this performance. But as we see there from coaches' reactions, they know they can do better. But again, 9 minutes left of the game. As you said, fans have come out to watch. The boys are very aware of that and they won't give up. Kick lands straight in the ultras.
Yeah, don't think they'll be getting that ball back anytime soon.
No. Oh, I'm not sure about that one, referee. I'm sure the crowd reaction to that one kind of saw our thoughts of that, and yeah, maybe a wind is picked up on Rugby 1, but that wasn't exactly straight.
Great hands there, just beneath us here in the commentary box from Exeter. And again, they're very deep, our Exeter, and it's actually Benji Mills who's opted for the kick, and this kick's clear now from Cardiff Met. Jed Finley now opting to give the ball straight back into the hands of Alex Terry, and back it goes. That's nicely taken.
Bit more kick tennis to finish the night.
Yeah, why not? BUCS Meyer with a slightly more low directed kick. Oh, and that isn't quite connected with, and it is sent out just in front of the halfway line in the Cardiff Met half.
It almost seems like we haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
It almost seems like we've just played most of rugby in this half between both 22s, and both teams have kind of just stayed where they are and a few steps either way.
That's a nicely thrown in line out. That was definitely straight, but it's unfortunate because Exeter managed to get a hand on it.
Yeah, the wind seemed to disappear on that one.
Exeter looking dangerous now. In they go. Well over the gain line.
This is the attacking threat we're talking about, though. Exeter's still throwing the ball around. We're deep into the second half. We've got 5 minutes left. But they clearly have an objective from this game, and it's just to keep scoring as many points as possible. And as I said, that massive shot. As I said, the Leeds Beckett loss last week clearly played on their minds because they've came here with a clear objective of scoring. Oh, very scrappy there.
Oh, the ball's just being bunted about through the hands. Cardiff Met are just trying to keep the ball in, but it's very, very scrappy here. And I'm not sure who's come out of that the better.
Hopefully Craig Evans does.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that seems like an impossible task from up here. Hopefully easier for the ref down there. But
well, seeing a conversation between Craig and his assistant referee there, I think they're discussing it between them. Exeter ball.
Exeter ball indeed, and they go. Oh, and it's just called up by Craig Evans.
Bit of a knock on there, I think he called.
So they'll come into the scrum, Sam.
Just see on the replay here. Massive shot from Harry Silman, I think it is. Things like that you want to see from the impact subs, but also through the players that stayed on throughout the game. Score isn't reflective of the physicality and the attitude you can put into this game, and as I said, the dog mentality at Cardiff Met uphold. Maybe the scoreline hasn't been their favour, but you can't fault their effort.
Harry Silman, someone who grew up in New Zealand, so he'll know a thing or two about about fighting hard, and the All Blacks are a team that resemble that so well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris Johnson, Vikas Meyer, showing some space, and it's into the hands of Henry Cohen, but again, Craig Evans calling back with the whistle, and it seems like he's actually had quite a bit of stuff to do the last 5 minutes, Craig Evans.
Yes, I think he's going to be quite happy to put his whistle down by the full whistle. But yet again, we see a slight forward pass and a mistake from Cardiff Met, and gives Exeter yet another attacking opportunity on the 22-metre line. As we see the fans taking every opportunity for the media. Shout out to Michael Vaughan giving us a wave there.
My first warning to you, Sam, think about your player of the match for tonight.
Yeah, I'd love to give it to a Cardiff Met player, but I think that wouldn't be true to the game. So
I'll give you a couple of minutes to well it through, but yeah, there's a few clear potential characters that I think you'll have in mind. Benji Mills with a kick to touch to really, if things weren't already to bed, just kill the hearts of the ultras.
Yeah, as I said, they've come in with a clear mission, and they're really trying to put that nail in the coffin and get as many points as they can. A clear score ahead of last week's next round, but also ahead of the playoffs. As you see Exeter try and score here. Exeter burrowing their way over the line now. Exeter still fighting over that line, but Cardiff Met refusing. Nothing to lose now. Cardiff Met giving it all, refusing Exeter that final score. Oh, they just edging their way over, but Cardiff Met pushing them back.
Cardiff Met's defence doing so well.
Oh, massive hit.
Come in very, very quickly.
Yeah, that didn't sound great. Great tackle, but maybe slightly on the high side there. And Craig Evans just evaluating the situation with his assistant ref and seeing what his opinion on it. Oh, yellow card distributed there for that tackle.
And Exeter are really finishing strong here, Sam. I mean, their season is very much still within the balance for these last few fixtures. They're still within a chance of finishing in the top four. They've obviously got the win here tonight. We know that. Next week, that's going to be a really important one to finish their regular season off on a high and potentially get that fourth spot.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And especially with these two teams being next to each other on the table, Exeter coming out and putting a score of 43-7 on Cyncoed Campus is a clear message to whoever they're playing next that they're no mugs, and they have that championship desire still in that team, and they can definitely cause damage when they have the room to. So, yeah, absolutely.
And also, they had a really, really troublesome match last week at Headingley Campus against Leeds Beckett. It was a really, really challenging conditions, very muddy. They must be really happy with the performance they've put out here tonight on a really, really nice conditioned pitch. It must be nice for them to come somewhere where they know they put their feet on the ground and they know how it's going to turn out.
I'm sure they were grinning when they got off the coach today that it was a clear pitch and running rugby today, but actually the forwards have also used that ball, so they've used every aspect of their game today and really put Cardiff Met under the stick, really.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful performance from Exeter, and as they just look to get yet another try on the score, I think they're just pulled up, but
another penalty again
against Cardiff Met, Sam.
Yeah, I didn't see exactly what he was, but in the maul there was an infringement by Cardiff Met, and Craig Evans right in front of him, he saw it and awarded Exeter. So they go back to that corner yet again, and they try and burrow their way over the line, which has seen them do so many times tonight already.
And as Exeter line up for this this line out just metres away on the 5 metre line, your player of the match for tonight, Sam?
It's a tough one. I really think that starting front row for Exeter were class, and they proved a real threat for against Cardiff Met. But I mentioned him earlier, and we've constantly said his name, as you saw another try there. Constantly remember his name now, Zach Wimbush. As we said, we were marvelling over the fact that he's a man-mountain. He has caused Cardiff Met so many damage, but his offloads, his front foot ball, taking 3 men on and then giving the little pop to his winger, but also a try of his own. He's my player of the match just for the damage he has caused to Cardiff Met today.
Yeah, damage, Sam, a word you mentioned quite a bit there. Damage they've just done once again into the Cardiff Met defence. They're over once again. Let's take a little look at that final finish. I think that'll be time on this round 17 matchup. But the forwards once again using their powerful legs to drive through the Cardiff Met bodies, and over the line they go.
Yeah.
Benji Mills looking to finish off what has been a brilliant kicking display today. I mean, he missed a tough one early on, but he's hit the post again. I was just about to say. Oh, has it gone through?
Wow. It's a great kick. Great kick.
Yeah, helped by the post on that occasion, in contrast to earlier on in the match when he was halted points.
Yeah, both peering over there to see if that went over, but a great finish to that half for Exeter. But yeah, Cardiff Met limited to those 7 points.
So it does end here on Rugby 1 at Cyncoed Campus. Exeter 50, Cardiff Met 7. And both teams go into the final round of the BUCS Super Rugby League in a very contrasting way.
Yeah, it's not exactly the way Cardiff Met probably wanted to display their performance on Rugby 1 tonight. But they come back strong next week with Durham at home on Cyncoed yet again. So they have a real point to prove next week to bring that belief back from the the crowd, but also in themselves, making sure they can put in a performance before they go to the playoffs.
All right, Sam. So there wasn't a huge amount that Cardiff Met can be proud of tonight. I mean, they fought well. They kept going until the final whistle. You know, even in that last phase, they were trying to keep Exeter out from that try scoring opportunity. They weren't able to. But what can they be happy about tonight? What were the few things that they can look to and say, you know what, we actually did that. We did that well tonight.
I think the bodies and the minds of these players and coaches will be sore tonight. They'll take this quite hard that a home game they've lost this to the Exeter team like this, but you learn more lessons from your losses than you do your wins. So they'll now look at an analysis with the coaches, the backroom staff, and go through the areas that weren't strong, but also some areas that were, because there were some glimmers of light today. But yeah, definitely they'll learn a lot of lessons from this. And hopefully, like Exeter have done with their loss last week, then this week, they can put on a real big performance against Durham here next week.
That's the beauty of this setup here at Cardiff Met. We've got the performance analysis that watch these games and can help these players come back from these tough defeats. And as you can see, they're disappointed. Of course they are. That's a really tough scoreline to have to go back to the changing rooms with. But they're going to be back stronger. They always are.
Yeah, I mean, as I speak for the boys, as I have done previous, you can't fault their hard work. I see it on a daily basis.
And they stick together as well, Sam.
It's a family. Cardiff Met Rugby is a family. Whether you're in the first team, you're in the 8th team, you see now they're huddle, they're one. No matter whether you've lost or won, they stick together. They'll come back to the training field and review this game today with probably sore eyes. But as I said, you have to stick together and go on from there.
And a team that have stuck so well together in this match that we've just witnessed is Exeter. They put on a sublime team performance. There was a few individuals, the likes of Zach Wimbush, the player of the match, your player of the match, Sam. But ultimately what impressed me was their team spirit tonight and the way they passed through their back so well out into the wings and provided themselves with some very, very good try-scoring opportunities.
Yeah, and you look to leaders like Lucas Durrell. He's not got 50 caps for a reason, and as he saw during the week, like, he was lucky that he's happy to get his first cap, but now 50 down the line, that is a true leader that Exeter have, and clearly showed that tonight.
Let's take a look at some of the best highlights from tonight's game, because there were a lot of them. I mean, especially from the team in green. This was the first try-scoring opportunity. It was the number 9 who created it very, very well indeed. And then that was the offload that I think highlights the whole match for me. Wasn't it so good, Sam?
Yeah, he's lucky to not get the player of the match just for that outrageous pass there. And I'm sure they'll be debating that after the live stream. But yeah, you can't ignore the Zach Wimbush effect and what he is punished Cardiff Met for now.
There was the player of the match that scored his first try of the night, but that wasn't the only thing that he contributed to. His hits in defence were something to witness. But this was the Cardiff Met try that the Ultras had something to cheer about. That was impressive, wasn't it, Sam?
That's the glimmer of light the team need. Things like that shows that they can attack with the ball, and although the scoreline doesn't read it so, they know that that can happen and they have that ability to do something.
Yeah, but that was there was few and far things between that they could cheer for, and this was the sort of attacking play that Cardiff Met were having to deal with tonight. He knocked his head on the way through, but that's what they have to go through in terms of this sport. You have to go through the pain to be able to get the rewards.
Yeah, many times tonight we saw Exeter dug their head down. They burrowed their way over the try for the try, and yeah, it clearly works no matter what the damage is.
And it just kept on coming, didn't it? The try scoring opportunities, especially with those forwards. Something else. I mean, they kept on coming. But Sam, thanks so much for your company tonight. It's been great to have you up here again, and I'm sure we'll be up together soon.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. But I think we're about ready to hear from head coach of Cardiff Met, Ian Gardner. He's chatting with Maisy Davis.
Another tough loss for the boys tonight, guards, against current title holders. So was this the expectation going into this match?
It's always a tough game against Exeter. They're a good unit. They're well drilled. They're physical. But unfortunately, the performance was not of a level that's becoming of a Met jersey, if I'm honest. So it was. We spoke to the boys now. Some, 3 or 4 decent individual performances, but unfortunately, there were some really poor ones out there as well.
Yeah, they were definitely a strong side. However, Met drew against Leeds Beckett last week, and Exeter actually lost against them. So was there a sense of confidence going in? You thought maybe you could do it?
It's very, from week to week we don't necessarily look at those results. We only look at what the performances we can bring, and as I said, the performance wasn't good enough today, and a few of the players need to have a look at themselves, because possibly the level of effort and what we really expect from a Met player wasn't there for some of them, and potentially some of them not up to at this level. We brought some boys in to have a look at them tonight, and clearly at the moment this sort of occasion and this standard is too much for them.
What do you think it is? What's the biggest change that you need to make during training then?
I think we just got to sort of dust ourselves down. It'll be a drastically different team next week going out. It's good to give boys opportunities so we know where we are with the squad, but ultimately the expectation is that when players come in, they do perform to a certain level, and they do sort of work hard for the badge, and we didn't see that from all of the squad, I would say.
Yeah, well, thank you. Commiserations again, but I hope for a better result next week. Thank you, God.
And I do. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Right. Hiya, Jack, how are we?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Excellent win for you. Yeah, so obviously first half, loads of points in. Was that the expectation going in?
I don't think we were expecting loads of points. I think we were just expecting to try and perform as best we can, because we've come off the back of a few defeats, and we were just trying to focus on ourselves as a group, and I think we did that really well today.
Yeah, obviously penalty first 5 minutes in, silenced the crowd during Cyncoed. Was that the plan, do you reckon, to get the crowd? Because over at Cyncoed, the Ultras are our 16th man, so if we silence the crowd, do do you think the boys had a bit of a confidence knock?
Yeah, I think obviously the crowd play a big part down here, so I think that would have been on our minds. But I think main focus for us was just get points on the board, get that scoreboard rolling, and then see if we can build upon that. And it did manage to silence the crowd, which helped us a lot, I think, yeah.
Yeah, obviously you're title holders for a reason. So you have had a confidence knock this season, but do you think this is going to up the confidence going into your next match?
I'd like to think so, yeah. I mean, yeah, we've probably had a few confidence knocks in the last couple of weeks, but we've been building as a group, training hard, and I think we've come through today and proven what we can do, which is really exciting.
Definitely. Go off and celebrate. Thanks so much for chatting.
Cheers. Thank you.
There you go. So it's been a tough loss tonight for the boys, but there's still some positives to reflect on. Here at Cyncoed, we love to highlight all the positives. So there has been a lot of changes in the women's game in basketball, and Jay sat down with one of the players. So I'm going to leave you with that tonight. Thank you to everyone involved, and I'll see you again soon. No star.
Connie Clark is the latest powerhouse to join the Cardiff Met Archers, bringing her versatile skills as shooting guard, small forward or power forward. With a strong background at Missouri Western State University Griffons, she's certainly no stranger to high-level competition. But beyond the stats and accolades, who exactly is Connie Clark and what drew her to the Archers? It's time for her to share the story.
I did have an agent at the end of my career, so I ended up signing to Inter Performance Agency, and I just put my agent to work to find me somewhere to go. She pointed me here, and I accepted the offer.
Making a little bit of a research up, I did find that your teammate Kiara played at the same time as you in the University of Missouri St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
You played in Western Missouri.
Right.
That was that is such a coincidence that you girls find out in Cardiff out of no reason. Did you knew each other by any chance?
I didn't. When I first got here, she was like, we was introducing ourselves to each other, and she was like, I went to college in University of Missouri in St. Louis, and I said, well, I went to Missouri Western, and she was like, we was trying to see who we played, or did we play each other teammates or something like that. But no, it was a coincidence. No, it was pretty interesting. I'm like, Missouri, Cardiff. And then find out that her birthday is in July too. So I was like, okay.
And the Archers, you also have another two American girls, Jenna Hosha and Abigail Junker. Did that help you out to settle down in Cardiff?
When I started getting familiar with overseas teams, it wasn't really too many Americans that could be on the team. So I did find it like a blessing to me to have more than one teammate that is from the United States.
What's Connie doing on your free time? Any hobbies you pursue? Any passions you've held up?
Yes. Yeah, I think I should say I shop a lot on my free time. So I was in the mall, maybe 2 weeks ago, shopping. I'm like, I shouldn't be in here. I got enough stuff. But yeah, I like shopping and exploring new places here. To be honest, for me to be a pro basketball player, I do not watch TV.
Not at all?
No, I'm just starting to get into movies now, but no, I don't watch TV. I did used to look at highlights of Candace Parker and stuff like that, but besides that, I don't keep up. So when my teammates and them have discussions, I'd be like, what about that? They was talking about the trade with Luka and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know about that.
I've never heard about that. This is the first time I hear it.
I was like, what is the big argument about here? And it was like, Connie, are you serious? Like, yes, Connie is so serious. I know she don't watch basketball or nothing like that. So.
Thank you very much, Connie.
You're welcome.